How's it going, everybody? What an equinox, right? What an equinox that was. As I understand it, the equinox corridor is closed, and we're now stepping into a full moon. There's been a tremendous amount of things happening, things coming and things going, right? Everybody, everywhere I turn, people are experiencing so much, and I am, as a lot of people know, Soulogy is, and like a lot of us, I'm sure, there was some meltdowns and house cleaning and different things that have been working their way through our energy fields. But and it's been a bit debilitating in the respect to functioning in the world and doing the things that we do. But I woke up today and I said, you know what? We're 12 days behind on uploads of shows to the Soulogy Network. We're 2.5 months from the Soulogy Fest. We got 50 people that want to produce their show on top of the 20 that we have. There's, like I said, things coming and going. There's the processing that we do, the purging that we do, and all the things that we've been doing all these years, and at the same time to function in this new energy. And that's what I woke up this morning and decided that, you know what, just take it one step at a time, one email at a time, one text message at a time, one upload at a time, one conversation at a time, and just do the best that we can do, And so we've always tried to set the example by opening our heart, opening up our broken open hearts, and just laying it on the line. So that's what I got up this morning, and I thought, okay, this is about 2.5 hours ago, and I kind of meditated for about an hour, and I just said, you know what, we just got to go take one step at a time. As Antonella says, one breath at a time, one moment at a time. There's so much that we have created, so much that we have brought into alignment, so much that we have experienced and endured. And I know everybody feels it. I feel it. The heart openings come from the heart breaking. With every identity that we shed, we take on a greater awareness of our true power and our true nature. And it's a wild ride. wilder than it's ever been. And even though we're getting to the higher ground more and more every day, and we see this, and we're seeing it not just in ourselves, but we're seeing it in our friends and our family. We're still getting it done, We're still getting it done. So, I broke down a couple times yesterday, and I'm not ashamed to say that. I think there's just been a lot of dissection of ourselves. There's been, dealing with all this stuff that comes up, and still functioning and still getting done the things that we were guided to do. And I feel like that the more that we can do that, the more that we can engage this energy, this expanding consciousness and awareness that's really anchoring all over the world, the more we engage it, the more it grows, and the more powerful it gets, and the more powerful our collaborations get, the more our individual expressions and energy impacts in a positive way for the highest and best good for all. So, there's just been a lot of stuff going on. I'm seeing comments here. A lot of us were on our knees yesterday, purging Chernobyl style, per Edina. Jana says, chop wood and carry water. Yeah, I just wanted to jump on here and talk a little bit about, what's going on at Soulogy, and what's going on with the Soulogy Fest, and what I'm going to be jumping into over the next few days and bringing the website or the network up to date. We're about 10 days behind on our uploads. And talk a little bit about the Soulogy Fest, talk about what's just gone on here over these past few days, 10 days, 2 weeks, the period leading up to the equinox. It's my understanding that today is the last 9/9 day of September. 9 is completion. But I feel like that, that there's the old is leaving in so many different ways, in the ways that that we conduct ourselves when we interact with other people. Judgments leaving, projections leaving, accountability on a personal level, responsibility on a personal level is increasing. Self-love is increasing. There's a lot of things coming, and there's a lot of things going. There's a lot of things diminishing, and there's a lot of things growing. And it's been a hell of a ride since 2012, and for some beyond that, for some less than that. And it's been a hell of a ride in 2023, and it's been a hell of a ride in September, and it's been a hell of a ride since about June. And I think we're doing a great job. So, Soulogy, we're still moving forward with everything that we've started. We've got the network. We can visit that in a minute. It needs some updating. I've been on the road. I left on the 15th of September. My mother and I made a 4-day trip to Sedona. We're still here. We're going to be here for another week. My 84-year-old mother has just been incredible. It's been incredible to watch that previous generation on a personal level go through their own expansion. Watch them have the experience of coming to Sedona for the first time, and she's traveled the world, but never having been here. Watching her come with conscious intention to collaborate with Mother Sedona, and but to see her get activated, to purge, to integrate, and to gain the type of intel that we talk about and that we experience and that we share together, all of us. And to have this information come in on a very quick basis, it's quite extraordinary. And I know this is happening to people all over the world. I know people that I've talked to have talked about how their family and friends and people that they've known are waking up and they're having these changes. So there's a lot of energy in this room and in the air. Yeah, so I've been here. We had a show on Sunday night, which we streamed for 3 hours, which was very cool. A typical Soulogy gathering where people come up and share. Ty and I did some music. We were joined by Tim Smith and some other people. We're going to do this again on Saturday night, which is the 30th of September, from 7 to 10 Sedona time, which is 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. East Coast time. That'll be like 3 in the morning till 6 in the morning UK, and that'd be like noon to 3 p.m. Give or take in the Australia, New Zealand. So yeah, I would encourage you to join us. It's free locally. If you're in Sedona, we'll be at the Apotheca in West Sedona, 7 to 10 p.m. We will be streaming it. It will be available on replay. It'll be on all of our social media platforms, which we're keeping open through the end of November. More on that later, as I can get back on this horse and start generating more awareness of what we're doing after having been experiencing the equinox energies with Mother Sedona and going through everything that everyone else is going through in a very major way. Yeah, so we're going to get the Soulogy Network updated. We're about 10 days behind on the uploads. I'm going to get that handled today. Update the calendar, although it's in pretty good shape, but I'm going to fix that. It won't take long. Hello, Divine Roberts. It's good to see you. I can't wait to see you. I saw Victoria yesterday. I can't wait to see Cinda. I've had some messages from other people that are coming in from out of town, Phoenix and New Mexico. So Saturday ought to be, I would think, probably 30 to 50 people. It's a free event at Apotheca in Sedona. It's kind of a preview to the Soulogy Fest where everybody is a star. We don't have any headliners. We don't have any keynotes. Anyone that chooses to accept the invitation to come to the Soulogy Fest in Houston, December 8th, 9th, and 10th, we will incorporate them onto the schedule if they would like, as a presenter, as a performer, as a workshop leader, or any other capacity they might be interested in sharing. I'm going to be coming out a little bit later today with the broadcast specific to the Soulogy Fest, which will connect a lot of dots. It will explain a little bit more about what's going on. And also I want to talk about the vendor packages, because those are very of a very high potential. Our vendors have done very well in the past, and this one is going to be at least twice the size of what we've done in the past. So the vendors' opportunity is going to be very powerful, very strong, and we're looking to accommodate them so that they can maximize, the energy exchange with the folks that come. But yeah, I'm going to get back on a little bit later today and talk specifically about the Soulogy Fest. And by the way, my mom will be at the Soulogy Fest as well. She's become an active member and wants to do everything she can to expand the awareness and the success and the I guess the birth of Soulogy, the energy of Soulogy. So that's pretty exciting to have my mom involved. So this energy has been quite humbling. It's been quite humbling as we have let go of things that are not coming with us and have joined hands with those things that are going with us. And it's always a good thing to remember to go easy on yourself and go easy on other people. It's okay to go into judgment. I mean, we're working our way out of this stuff. It's okay to project, but it's also okay and doable for us to catch ourselves and correct ourselves and come back to center, come back to our soul, and remember who we are and what we're a part of. And also to let everything go and understand that it's not about how we got here. It's not about circumstances or consequences, because they're the same damn thing. It's about where we're at and where we're going, who we are and who we are becoming, both individually and as creative collaborators, as a soul family. So if you haven't seen the footage from the Sedona gathering this past Sunday, you might want to just pop in there. I know it's 3 hours, but you just kind of like skim through it and you can kind of get a idea of the mix that we have. The thing about Soulogy is that, again, everybody's a star. Everybody's equal. We're at a round table of spirituality where there is no head of the table, and we are doing our best each and every day to exemplify this Trinity energy. But part of the beauty of that is that I always like to say at these Soulogy gatherings that Soulogy is like a box of Cracker Jacks. You never know what you're going to get. And anything can happen. Just real quick as an example, we started this show out with some music, paid homage to my mother, and greeted everybody. And then a gentleman who was new to Soulogy came up to talk, and he talked about the fact that he was a dolphin ambassador. And he talked about his journey with the dolphins, where it came out of nowhere and how he didn't believe it. And now he's a dolphin ambassador doing the work and fulfilling his purpose. And we had a few other people came up. Tim Smith came up, who lives here in the village of Oak Creek. And he talked about his relationship with Mother Mary and the fairies, and his last 3 or 4 years, his experience with them, and how they provided the support that he needed in his transformation as he lived on the land in a tent for 5 months after having lost everything. And then he joined us. He's an accomplished musician and music producer, and he got his guitar out, and him and Ty started making music. And then he asked me if I would join, and we just freestyled and improvised a couple of tunes. Poppy was there, Blaine Devereaux, and he brought his pan drum, and that was cool. So there was just a lot of fellowship as usual, a lot of code exchange. It was very high energy. I think on the third song, everybody got up and started dancing. There were tears. There was, beauty, grace, joy, bliss, deep heart openings, deep code exchanges. And this is something that we want to continue to do, and that we've always tried to do as people shine their soul. And there's a lot of energy in this room. I just want to repeat that. So I don't know what's going to show up. But yeah, so I would invite each and every one of you, anyone that sees this, to join us on Saturday night. If you're in Sedona or you're close to Sedona and you want to come in to Apotheca from 7 to 10 p.m., that's Pacific time, which is also Sedona time at this time of year. That's 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. East Coast. That's 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. in the UK, and noon to 3 p.m. In the Southern Hemisphere. We'd invite you to come in and participate with us. Come in, bring your instrument, bring your voice, bring your poetry, bring your conscious rap, bring your song, bring your dance, bring your soul. Would also invite you to the Soulogy Fest, December 8th, 9th, and 10th in Houston, Texas. It's going to be a heck of a way to end the year and to bring in 2024. Many of the sensitives that are coming, and I'll say we've already got about 10 people coming from out of the country, some from Norway, Mexico, Australia, London, or Liverpool. Dr. Joe's coming. And it's the same theme. Everyone that comes, we fill out the agenda, the schedule with those who are coming, and ask them to bring forth the part of them that they would like to share with everybody, with the emphasis on transparency, authenticity, realness, the human part of us, the part of us that's the great offering to the universal family as we transform from the illusion of the conditioning that stamped itself on us and made us think that we were something that we were not. But many of us know and have known for quite some time that there was something bigger at hand here, and we've gone through this equinox, and a lot of people, their intel, their narrative is that we've reached a point of completion where mastery is now available to us as we head into the last 3 months of 2023, where we can spend each and every moment of every day practicing integrity, practicing unconditional love, practicing operating in the Trinity energy, which means that everything that we do, think, and say, we have the access to be in alignment with Trinity, where it serves ourselves, others, and the collective equally. And this is something that's available to us all. We are not who we were yesterday. We are who we are today. We are furthering our alignment, our goodness, our grace, our love, our wisdom, our courage, by being responsible for each thought, each word, each action that we take. And again, we're still working ourselves out. We're going to be tested, so to speak. We're going to see the old loops come around so that we can see with greater clarity that maybe we still have subtle aspects, echoes that are coming out. I know I had it happen to me yesterday, and I was fortunate, as many of us are, to have a friend that pointed out to me my own projection, and it was a beautiful thing to have that shared with me, and to know in that moment that I would be ultra conscious, more conscious of the patterns and the echoes that I might have still running. This is something that we can do good for each other, and I think that's part of this transformation, is that telepathy and intuition are taking on a physicality by our free will aligning with, you might say, universal will. So in other words, we can speak direct to each other in a loving manner, in a manner that is not projection, that's constructive and meant to continue to guide us all to the same place, which is the new earth that we stand on and the new earth that we are. I got off on a tangent there, but I find myself getting very emotional. I find myself at the point of tears a lot. And it's not sadness, and it's not pain, and it's not suffering. It's purity. It's reverence. It's a bit of the overwhelming that is produced by the self-awareness of the power that we are. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful time to be living, and it's just takes your breath away. There was a lot of people that converged on Sedona this past weekend. Our beautiful sister Sandra Walter had her convergence. I was fortunate enough to run into a couple of people that went to it. I found myself at times in the field without effort, interacting and intersecting and converging and I guess merging with Sandra's convergent group, with Sandra herself. There are other people. I know Suzanne Ross had an event here this weekend. I know there was events going all over the world that were carrying the same spirit and soul and intention of unity consciousness and oneness. And I believe that we're all meeting on the new grid when we're, whether we're conscious of it or not. And it's a powerful, powerful thing to continue to anchor ourselves into this space that is unknown, this space that is full of the holy darkness, creative void that we're birthed from, and we're literally finding ourselves in this over and over and over with an opportunity to co-create and collaborate and duplicate the sacred marriage that we carry within ourselves with our fellow mirrors and playmates, as our dear friend Franco de Nicola would say. It was interesting, too, that Franco, his birthday was on the equinox. Well, depending on where you were in the world. But in Sedona, the equinox came at 11:49 on the 22nd, which was actually Friday night. And it was not a coincidence that, I turned on Facebook and his birthday came up, and it's September 22nd. It was just 2 years prior that I was in this very condo that him and his beloved Kimberly stayed with me, and I was able to spend some time with him on a personal level. Some of that we shared, if you go back and look at the videos from 2 years ago. But I had some conversations with him, and a lot of people have talked about that he's popping in with them and having conversations and delivering intel and going on dimensional trips with, and he's certainly come in and spoken with me and been present with me quite a bit. And I've also been talking to his beloved Kimberly. We stay in touch, and she's going to be coming out very soon. She would like to come out and publicly discuss her journey, her relationship with Franco, the time that she's experienced since his transition 2 years ago. She'd like to come out and shine her soul and express herself, as so many people are doing, and as we're doing and encouraging people to do on the Soulogy network, and more and more and more and more people will do that. Like I said, we've got 20 shows now that we're trying to stabilize the systems and implement a system so that we can get the next 50, because we've got about 50 people that want to produce a show, and we're developing a system that will allow that to happen with ease and grace. That's why we haven't brought on more shows yet. So anyone that's interested, anyone that's messaged or emailed, just know that we will get to you, that we're not, in fact, every email, every message will be gotten to. And I know it's kind of backed up right now because I've been on the road and been going through initiations in Sedona with Mother Sedona, It's again a very powerful time. I feel like that I'm very blessed to be in emerging with Mother Universe, Mother Earth, Mother Sedona, my own mother here, the grandmother's 13, and the divine feminine sisters that carry the Mother Goddess frequency incarnated in the feminine body, as well as my brothers that are emerging now, and presenting the world and supporting the world with the new divine masculine energy. And again, feminine and the masculine's in all of us, but you tend to see things, based on the physical gender in most cases, not all cases. I want to, there's a lot of people, I'll get back to Franco in a second, but there's a lot of people that are witnessing and some experiencing things that are leading to the physical transition that Franco went through himself. There's a lot of intensity. A lot of our friends have transitioned. It's forecasted that many will, and I think it's a good time to just take a moment and to offer, peace, healing peace and love and comfort, and grace and blessings to all of us and to everyone who is experiencing the physical ramifications, to include the transitioning to or from physicality. So for those that are and that will, may your journey be full of a healing peace, ease and grace. And for those of us who bear witness, which is very, very important, to those folks who are going through physical uncomfortableness, and those that are physically transitioning that we witness. So the same ease and grace and healing peace to those that are bearing witness. Bearing witness is a powerful thing for those of you who have had dimensional experiences, which I believe all of us have, and even some of the physical experiences that we've had where let's just say the non-physical family members show up. But my point is witnessing is a very important part of life, of universal experience. It's very important to bear witness. I've have people in my life that are bearing witness to me in this time of transformation. And it's the highest degree of love that I've experienced for myself and for others. And I just would want to emphasize that again, that remember, as things are being brought to the surface, we know that we all have to do our own work, and we all have to go through our own transformational experience, both physical, mental, emotional, and mental. And that we can still witness for each other. Witnessing is not enabling old programming. Witnessing is beyond holding space. Witnessing is oneness. And it provides an equilibrium and an expansion for that which is being experienced and being witnessed. So just, keep that in mind. I'm sure, like many of you, I'm getting messages and emails from people that are, having a difficult time. We've all been there. We all reach out sometimes because it's tough. But every single day, and I know that everyone here can relate to this, every single day there is greater clarity. There is more spiritual confidence. There is more knowing. I'm watching people both experience and witness the type of thing that I was just talking about. They're doing it with grace. They're doing it with nobility. They're doing it with integrity. They're doing it with fearlessness. And they're doing it with an understanding and a grace and acceptance way beyond surrendering. And it's a very beautiful thing. I would normally name a few names here, but I feel like that would be out of order because of the personal aspect of it. But I know some people, and I'm sure you do too, that are going through and displaying what I'm talking about here these last couple of minutes. I have to blow my nose, but I don't have a Kleenex. So, we got 37 minutes into this. We've got 3 shows today, but talk about that later. I'm going to come on later and talk about the Soulogy Fest and start really, expanding the awareness of what we're doing. And the energy in this room is just crazy. But just kind of stay on topic here and go back to Franco. Franco and Kimberly put together an Advancing Consciousness series, which is over 200 hours of, I would say, probably the most in-depth, comprehensive, accurate, balanced archives of where we've been, where we're at, and where we're going. And we're honored to be able to anchor that into the Soulogy network in the very near future. And like I said, Kimberly will be coming out. We had a conversation about 10 days ago, and very soon she'll be coming out. She wants to share and continue the work that they've begun. But on the note with Franco, I know that a lot of people have had interactions with him. And I can tell you that in my situation, it's been the same. There's been his presence has bore witness to some of the initiations I've gone through. But there's also been messages, and those messages have been very positive, and not just for me, but for everything, for Soulogy, for humanity. The messages have been one of glee and happiness and pride, just giving props to what we've accomplished and what we're accomplishing. So I wanted to share that with everybody and invite everybody to share the experiences that we have with those of us, those that we know that are not physically incarnated, whether they have been or they haven't. So I feel like that with the equinox having closed out and the full moon kicking in, that it's time for the solitude, the quietness to go. I feel like it's time to come out and develop the mastery that is now accessible and available to all of us to one degree or another, and that can be furthered by each thought, each word, and each action from this point forward through the winter solstice. Will we have loops show themselves again? Will we have memories show themselves again? Will we have programs show themselves again? I'm sure we will. But the difference is many things that were implanted, be it in ourselves, into the matrix, programs we can go right down the list and talk about many different ones. We can talk about the patriarchal. We can talk about the dark mother. We can talk about a lot of things. These things are neutralized. They are no longer an impediment, but by our own denial or unwillingness to let go of them. And we've come too far to do that now. So over this next 3 months, beginning today, at Soulogy, we are going to get louder, but not in a boasting way, but in a way that engages the potential that's available to us now, which I will call the Trinity in full form, or the potential of mastery in each moment. Because although things have happened on a collective scale, it takes engaging this energy in order for it to grow. And it operates in a totally different way. You know, you would think, for instance, after 12 years at Soulogy and launching our own network, and if I looked at my own situation or Soulogy's situation from the eyes of the old paradigm, we're not a healthy organization. We're not financially secure. We're this. We're not that. Whatever. But it's not that way. We're in a quantum existence. We're in a quantum reality. It is created by our thoughts, and it operates totally differently. And we are creating the new code, which is created by the thoughts and the words and the actions that we take. And we're moving away from the old patterns and the old programs, and we're developing new ones, but it's an unknown territory. It's an uncharted territory, and only the boots on the ground can create it. And it's created by engaging it and moving boldly forward. And so when I say we're going to get loud from this day forward, we are going to not be shy about what's happening in this world, and we are going to focus on creating and collaborating and co-creating this new Earth grid and bringing it into reality. And the great thing about the quantum is things happen instantaneously. You know, we've got people coming from all over the world to the Soulogy Fest. Some of those people don't even know how they're going to go. Well, a couple of them, I shouldn't say some, because some are already made arrangements, but there are people, and I'm sure in the States as well, that don't know how they're coming, just like the last couple of years, but they know they're coming, and the universe, in collaboration with them, will provide the way. And I would just encourage everybody, be it a Soulogy Fest, be it our Soul Gathering Saturday, be it a Soulogy Network show that you want to produce, or be it anything else, any other aspect of our coming out on this earth, whatever your passion is, whatever your purpose is, whatever it is, I would encourage everyone to step into it now, to not allow this matrix and borders and money and rules and fears, essentially, to stop us from doing anything. If you want to do something, let's go out and make it happen. Because when one of us does it, it's contagious, and somebody else will pick up that spirit, pick up that ball, and run with it. There's a lot of power in physical congregation. We've had meetups, we've had groups, we've had shows, we've had all kinds of things in this powerful period that we've had over the last 10 years or so, where the internet has really grown, the highest physical manifestation of the ethers, where we've learned energy or remembered energy, where we've exchanged energy, and it's taken on a much more palpable existence in our experience, even though it's still somewhat invisible. But many people have forecasted that this time would come where we would start to meet in person in a greater and more expanded way. And for any of you who've been to the Soulogy Fest or been to other conferences and things that I'm talking about, you know the power of it. And so I would encourage you to dive into that and to get past the fear, get past whatever it is. I mean, the first Soulogy Fest we had in Sedona was right in the middle of the most intense COVID lockdown. And we never missed a beat. You know, the universe provided a place outside of town that was kind of in its own area, and nobody bothered us. And, it just went beautifully. And the same with what we have this year. You know, we're very blessed to have 30 acres to gather on in the city limits of Houston, Texas. That's all by itself, kind of like the first Soulogy Fest, where it's just out by itself, and not, I don't want to say in the middle of nowhere, but in just a very unique location. It's going to be quite the gathering. A lot of fellowship, a lot of soul shining, a lot of expression. But again, I don't want to just make this about Soulogy Fest or Soulogy Network. I want to make this about all of us engaging our purpose and passion, and understanding that in doing so, we are aligning with and exemplifying, and many other things, but the literal construction of this new earth. Every time we step into this, every time that we share something from our heart, every time we fulfill our purpose or take a step towards it, every time that we move past a fear, every time we move past a prejudice or a bias, every time we bring another soul into equilibrium in our heart, every time we do this, especially where two or more gather, the level of materialization of the new earth goes bananas. It goes beyond exponential, beyond steroids. I mean, it's instant manifestation. This is not a linear world anymore. This is a quantum world. So, I would highly encourage you I would invite you to the Soulogy Network. We've got, a public page. I'm just going to pull that up now and show people what we're doing real quick. Let me just pull this up real quick and see if I can get it to work. Okay, as you can see, I'm in a frame of body, mind, spirit, soul, mental, emotional, physical, that I know many of you can relate to. And that is, I'm not, running just smooth. Okay? I think there was a misconception in these circles, and rightfully so, because we had to learn that you get to a point and you're just, you become Buddha. Or you become Yeshua. And you're this perfectly balanced human incarnated that can walk on water. That's not where we're at. We are the perfect imperfection. We're moving towards perfection. We're moving towards a higher level of alignment. We do have skills, abilities, and sensitivities that are coming on board. Every day, we can start to play with these things. We can start to create, but everything comes through the heart. Everything that we do in this new energy that will be supported by this new collective energy is made of the same substance. It's this purity, it's this love, it's this courage and this wisdom and this fearlessness and this selfishness and this trinity energy that serves equally myself, you, and the collective. And so I would encourage you, I would invite you to come to the Soulogy Network and take a look around. I'm going to show you this in a second. I would invite you to come to the Soulogy Fest in Houston, December 8th, 9th, and 10th, one of the least expensive places in a major city that you could go to a festival like this. And I'll cover that later today in another video. I would encourage you, if you're in the Sedona area, to come Saturday night to Apotheca from 7 to 10 and bring your soul, bring your instrument, bring your expressions, bring your art, and come share with us and meet some like-minded souls. I think we'll probably see 40 people there, maybe more. Holds up to 80. I would invite you to tap into the potential of your passions and your purposes. I would invite you to seek the guidance and direction from the beehive intelligence, the you, me, we, and it, because the answers are coming now. Knock and the door will be open. Ask and you will receive. But yeah, it doesn't have to be with Soulogy, and it doesn't have to be anything, but we're living in a time that has been forecasted for thousands and thousands of years, 12,000, 15,000 years. This is the end of a cycle of cycles. This is a time when we can tap into our potential in the spirit flesh and do some dynamic, and by today's standards, supernatural things. And where two or more gather is a power that none of us have remembered fully. Nobody. And the great thing about this too is we are living something. We are creating something. So many words you could add to it. That has never been done before. We're taking the Akashic that we came into this world with, we're combining it with our experience, that what we might call the living library, and we're producing something that is full of new code. It is the universal offering coming from the divine human being, stepping into its power as an individual and as a group. This is the... This is what? Let's see where we're at. Okay. I want to show you real quick for those of you who don't know. And again, let me apologize because I'm about 10 days behind on our updates. But if you go to soulogynetwork.com, you land on what is called a public page. We are going to insert excerpts here, free to the public, that they'll be able to watch at any time. It'll be a continuous stream of excerpts from all of the original programming that we're doing. And as I've said before, we will have an app. I'd like to see it happen this month, but I know it'll happen in the next 2 months. We will have a handheld app for people. It will be free for them. They will be able to access this page and watch all this for free. And then there's some other information here. We'll have some testimonials and some FAQs, which we're still working on. Another thing that we'll be doing is, if you come in and you're not subscribed and you've registered, you'll still be able to see everything that we have on here. All of our shows, all of the pages of the producers' shows. This is Dr. Joe Delaney. This is I Am approach is something that he is originating here on the network. There's Higher Vibrations, Pamela. It's a very good show. She has on some very interesting people. There's Irina. She's had some powerful people on her show. These things you can see what we have on the site and visit the different things that we have on the site. And just because you're not subscribed, you're not blocked out of it. Now, what we're working on is allowing people to see more of the programming for free. We've been doing these Soulogy Spotlight shows on our social media platforms to show people what we're doing, and I'm going to talk to the IT people and see if we can make a migration from the Spotlight shows being on social media to actually having them free on the network. So in other words, 80% of the shows will still be as they are, exclusive onto the network on replays and lives, but maybe 1 in 4, 1 in 5 shows will be spotlighted and offered for free on the site. So we're continuing to develop it. We would encourage you to come check us out. It's $12.12 a month, or $144 a year. We operated for many, many years on contributions, and we're very thankful that we're able to make the jump as we were guided to do in March. And again, it was a guidance that came in that said it's time to create this new earth, create new constructs from the Trinity energy. And also part of that guidance was that the old, which many of us know, the old constructs will be collapsing, which they already are, as many people know, especially Facebook has seemed to be having a lot of problems lately. So yeah, I would encourage you to come over to the Soulogy Network. Check us out, Soulogy Fest in Houston. Also, we have, if you go to SoulogyFest.com, you can get an idea of what we're doing. Everybody is a star. We've got people coming from all over the world. We've got many people that I need to add on here. We're actually going to have, and let me just explain this real quick. We still have the early bird till the end of the month. I'm going to look at doing some type of promotion for October. But if you are an annual member now, it's $199. If you're a monthly member, it's $333, but you receive a 12-month free membership with that $333. So that's basically a $144 value. And then if you're not a member, it's $369, but there is a quirk. There is a cheat code that I did on accident, which is if you want to come and you're not currently a member on the network, you can go join it for $144, which qualifies you for the $199, and you end up spending about $25 or $30 less than the $369. So that's kind of cool. We also have online access. All of this you can see at SoulogyFest.com, which is part of the Soulogy Network website, and hope to see you there. But most of all, like I said before, it doesn't have to be with Soulogy. It doesn't have to be producing your own show. It doesn't have to be attendance to our event, our free event in Sedona Saturday night, whether you're online participating with us or whether you're in person in Sedona participating with us. It doesn't have to be at the Soulogy Fest with us. But may it be something. May we tap into this potential. May we tap into the potential of our passions and our purposes as they are showing themselves to us. May we tap into co-creating and congregating and collaborating with others and grow this grid by engaging it. I've been on about an hour, and I just want to say to everybody, thank you so much for all the love and support, contributions, subscriptions, participation, energy, love, and power that's been that is Soulogy. There is no doctrine, there is no dogma. It's simply energy. But yeah, feel free to, like I said earlier, every email, every message will be answered. I can't really apologize for being behind 10, 12 days. What we've just gone through has been very, very powerful, but I do thank everybody for their patience in us getting back to them. We have gone through this time. It's been very intense. We're on the other side now. Let's tap into the potential and tap into the co-creation frequencies and accelerate the expansion of this new Earth grid, this heaven on Earth. I'll be back later today. We've got 3 shows as well. I'll be back later today or tonight to talk about the Soulogy Fest and get more in depth there. There'll be a lot of upgrades or updates, I should say, to the Soulogy Network. Like I said, we're about 10 days behind on the uploads of the shows, but just bear with us. It'll all be there. Thank you for your patience, and peace out.